What is up, my dashing dudes and darling dames? I am the Hans TV, and originally I wasn't going to make a post on this subreddit, but then I got a notification from this story by Sleepy Ginger Sleep. Entitled Mother allows her precious baby to steal our cat. And it goes like this. My family and I moved back to my home country, New Zealand, a few years ago, and brought over all our animals. One of our cats became an outdoor cat and wandered to all of our neighbors' gardens, but she would always come back home at night. One night, we noticed that she didn't come back, but we thought it was a fluke. And one night became 1 week. And by then, we had already called around our close neighbors and had printed out posters. One day, when walking home from school, my sister saw her in a neighbor's window and called our parents. My mother and I went to their home and confronted them about it. Our neighbors consisted of one mother, one father, and a little girl, about 7 years old. Apparently what had happened was she wandered into their garden. The neighbor's daughter managed to catch her and wanted to keep her, despite the obvious collar. The parents allowed her to keep our cat and replaced her collar. When my mother demanded that they give her back, our neighbor obviously refused and tried to twist the story and make it our fault because we didn't offer to sell our cat when we moved in. I don't even know how a person can be that delusional. The mother then claimed that it was unfair to her precious baby that we didn't offer to give them our cat because her daughter was younger than my sister and I. She said that our cat and her child had formed a bond, blessed by God. I had enough and called our cat, and the second she appeared, I grabbed her and ran away. The mother and child started to scream like banshees, so my mother followed after me. When the neighbor called the police and demanded that we give her back, they forgot the fact that microchips exist, and that was all the proof the police needed to see that she was ours. We did tell our neighbors who have cats to make sure to watch out for them. The reason this story caught my eye and made me make a post on this is because I love animals. And under no circumstances should you steal someone's animal. That makes you less than human, garbage, and trash. Thank you for coming to this TED Talk. Anyway, our next post comes from Deep Sigh of Relief. Entitled Dad at CFA asks me to babysit his kid, makes a fuss with management when I say no. This happened last year around this time, and I thought you would enjoy sharing in the madness. I care for a 2-year-old full-time, as well as her sister, but only after school. The little one's allergies are super bad right now. Their family just moved here a few months ago, so this is their first Texas spring. Ooh, rough. So, we have been touring indoor playgrounds lately for her physical activity. We usually rotate between McDee's, a bouncy house place with an awesome toddler area, and CFA. The worst/most neglectful parents are usually at CFA, I've found. So we go early so she doesn't get trampled by unsupervised big kids. Today, about a half hour in, a man walks into the play area and sets his toddler on the floor and walks back out. It was just me and my charge at that point, but I was still shocked. Who drops their toddler off in a room with a complete stranger? There are 2 big windows, but the area I was sitting in is in a corner with solid walls. Only about 25% of the play area is visible from the main dining room. The little boy starts fussing almost immediately. A minute or 2 later, 3 big kids, ages 4 to 9 approximately, came in and started running around like crazy. The boy got scared, and when one of the big kids left, he followed her. He clearly didn't want to be in there, and the dad just brought him back and plopped him down, leaving without a word. And again, as soon as another unsupervised kid left, he followed. This happened 2 more times. The last time he brought him back, he said, very exasperated, "Can't you watch him for me since you're watching your kids too?" I told him no, that I wasn't watching my kids. I was the babysitter for the one little girl. I charge $15 an hour and prorate by the half hour, cash up front. He just looked at me for a minute, then took his boy to the counter and asked to speak to the manager. I couldn't hear the conversation because I was in the play place, but lots of hand waving and pointing. Dude left after the manager repeatedly shook their head. The manager told me later that he was demanding I be removed because I solicited him. And for this after story comment, we're actually going down to the comments. From Miss Panda Bear. So this guy was indigent that you told him that you expected to get paid for watching his kid. I want to know that conversation. I want to make a complaint. I dropped my kid off with the OP who was already watching another child, and he/she refused to watch mine for free. Remove him or her. Oh my god, why do these parents procreate? To which OP hilariously replied, the tale of the broken condom. And on to the next post, which comes from Kleinstein. EM rams our car. So I've recently read a story about a disabled parking spot that an EM takes, for no reason. And it got my memory jogging back of when my car got rammed by a witch and she didn't give a flip. On to the story. EM, you know. NP is nice pedestrian, me equals mutilated eagle, and EK equals entitled kid. Story. So I have a nice place in the center of the city, a nice car, and a nice parking spot. All was going great. I was inside when the incident happened. I went out to go to the grocery store when I saw a huge dent in the back of my car. A note was on the windshield, so I assumed it was money for the repair and an apology. Boy, was I wrong. It was a note from a nice pedestrian who saw it happen, with the license plate of the woman who did this. I tracked her down at the police station and went to her house. She opened the door and already had that death glare in her eyes. Like, what the flip do you want? And here's how that conversation went. What do you want? I noticed you hit my car today and would like money to repair the dent you made. Oh, come on, it wasn't that big, and I deserved that spot. I needed it to go to my mother. She lived a couple of houses next to me. I don't give a dang. I want my money and now. No, you don't deserve money for a little scratch. Nobody will ever see it. Mind you, it was a huge dent. A little scratch? Come outside. I will show you the little scratch. We went outside and I showed her the dent. That isn't big at all. You don't need my money for that. At this point, her entitled kid came outside too. Mommy, what are you doing? Don't worry, Angel. Mommy is fine. I need to handle business with this man. Business? I just need money for my car to get fixed. No, shut up. Just repair it with your own money. She snatched her kid by the arm and ran inside. I hit the door loudly and I heard the entitled mother say, Don't worry, EK, everything will be fine. This man just needs to pay me money but doesn't want to. I'm yelling at this point. Give you money? You hit my fucking car. So what? I had 2 kids and groceries in my hand. I needed that spot. So for your interruption, you should give me money. What the? I just left and heard the entitled mother still yelling at the door. Give me your money now. I left and stewed her later. And OP posted another post that explains the lawsuit. Well, we went to lawsuit, and I don't remember exactly how much it costed. The lawsuit took a week, and the judge called us back to the building and told the entitled mother she was guilty. Her response was the usual, but I am a single mother of 2. At that pure moment, I wanted to say something so badly. So, if I let a guy make me pregnant, that means I get privileges to ram people's car? I note that. After the lawsuit, she had to pay over 1,500 euros. She came to me and was like, Are you proud of yourself? I need to pay money for something I did. I think at that moment she realized what she had said. She went red, ran to her car, and drove off at full speed. I sure hope something like this never happens to you guys. Wow, OP, you're continuing the trek of all of these OPs getting Karens to pay fines or get the police called on them. I don't know what to say. I feel like we're finally taking a stand against the entitled people of the world. This next post comes from Yeet or Be Yeeted. Entitled kid lets his cat kill my rabbit, and then entitled mother blames it on me. So I have 2 bunnies, Floppy 3 and Bun 8. I don't know where I came up with the names, but whatever. I've also never had a bad relationship with EM or EK. The fence between the houses was also relatively short. So, my bunnies are free roam in my house. I had them in my backyard in a playpen that is big enough but has mesh walls with an open ceiling. I go inside to get them their food, and I'm coming back out, and I see EK and his cat, and him trying to pick up the bunny to play with the cat. I come rushing out and try to stop them because cats aren't exactly gentle. I guess I wasn't fast enough, because all of a sudden, it's a mess of blood, and I see my 8-year-old bunny on the ground dead. I am obviously very upset, but I tell EK to leave and I bring Foppy inside. He does not leave. But Kitty just wants to play with the bunnies. I tell him, sorry bud, cats and bunnies don't get along together very well. I try to keep my cool and he ends up leaving. I call my best friend who originally gave me Bun, and she said she was a few minutes away. I break down in tears. These were like my kids. They were there with me through everything, and now one was gone. She arrived and she comforted me. We then hear a knock on the door. Anna, friend, answers it, and it's the entitled mother. She asks who it is, and I tell her it's EK's mom. Now, Anna can get very defensive about things. This ticked her off. I can't believe that you didn't let entitled kid's cat play with your bunnies. Now one is dead and everyone has to look at it. Just give us your other one and I'll give it back in a week. Anna went off. Your stupid cat killed my best friend's rabbit. You can't even apologize. How dare you? That was her ESA, emotional support animal, and she was. Well, she has another. Then sighs and says, these people need support animals? They must be crazy. Anna ended up shutting the door in her face, and I'm still getting over it. Just a little hypothetical here, but isn't that technically animal abuse? I mean, that's illegal in most states, so just hypothetical though. And our final post from the day comes from Good Taste in Soup. Woman literally opens our food to see if it's hers. Okay, so I don't know if this deserves to be on here like others do, but whatever. Me and my mom were at Dunkin' Donuts. Breakfast place in the USA if you didn't know. Pretty sure it's multinational. And we were acting all normal at first. Then an entitled mother walks in. We didn't think anything of it, we just ordered the food and sat down. We wait 10 minutes and our food is ready. My mom tells me to go up and get the food. I go up and I see the lady going in the food bag and unwrapping the food. My mom saw it and she came over and says, what are you doing? And the entitled mother, or we'll call her Karen, says, seeing if this is mine, in a Karen tone. My mom says, you can see the ordering number on the bag. Karen rolls her eyes and walks away. Of course she sat next to us. We were eating normally and Karen turns around saying, in a Karen tone again, people make mistakes, you know. My mom said, still, don't open other people's food. Karen rolled her eyes again and turned around. That was the end of it, and me and my mom had a laugh at it this day. Well, alright my dashing dudes, that's gonna do it for today's episode of r/Entitled Parents. I hope you liked the stories, and if you did, I'll leave them down in the description below as always. And if you liked the video, subscribe, share, drop a like, and a comment down below what you'd like to see me read next. A humongous thank you to everyone who has subscribed and everyone who is watching these videos. I can't thank y'all enough for what y'all are doing for this channel and building this community as a whole. And I just can't explain the gratitude that I have for that. But with that being said, I will see you in the next video.